Hello, the freak. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Misguided Assets, episode 3. I'm surprised we made it this far. Uh, Once again, introduce ourselves. My name is Joshua. This is Sugumi.
Hello.
Um, and we have Fighter as well.
Hey,
Yeah. So, uh we to give a bit of a background, we've been kind of discussing with each other what we wanted our next what we wanted to talk about for this upcoming episode. Uh, and we really felt like, hey, YouTube is a platform. What if we talk about that for the entire episode? So yeah, we're gonna be basically doing that for the day. Got my microphone. Anyway, yeah.
Punch it. Punch
Uh,
his microphone.
I just, I realized it wasn't pointed my direction, so I had to move it.
Oh,
Anyway,
that sounded
uh,
just fine.
yeah, it's all good.
all right. Well, I wanted it better. Anyway,
Take us away, fighter.
Okay, what's everyone's opinion on the new YouTube ad block policy?
I've not been affected by it. Luckily.
I have. I
Yep, same
use
here.
uBlock Origin, and then after that stopped working, I went over to Opera GX, and
Mhm.
yeah, the amount of times I've gone stopped, had a black screen, because there's also glitches that came around with it. Even if I didn't have ad blocker on, YouTube would glitch out and it would go completely black. Videos would not even load in general. So I was kind of like, what the heck is going on? I don't have ad blocker turned on, and this is happening after the new changes.
Yeah,
Question.
same here.
Question, did you guys have on the timeline it's like 15 seconds or like 30 seconds? So like the time it would be if there was an ad? Do you guys have that?
I've had that a couple times, but not without any audio. So it would show up
Yeah.
like an ad, like I would hear an ad, but it would say 15 seconds.
Yeah. Mine wouldn't load. But like the thing is it was never a really big issue for me because whenever that showed up
Mhm.
with like the seconds, I would just refresh the page and then the video would pop up. Usually that only happens like every once in a while during while I watch my videos. But every time that happens, I'm just like, oh, my ad block's working. I'm just gonna refresh the page
Well,
and then
here,
video comes
yeah.
up.
Here's the thing, like I don't use YouTube on PC for anything other than just listening to music.
Hmm.
Yeah, because if I'm on my PC, I'm on it to either do work or to play games, sometimes even stream, right?
So that's fine.
I don't care about the ads. It's just that I don't want to listen to music with ads. That's the only purpose I use YouTube on PC for. I'm totally fine with ads on phone. I watch them all. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's just kind of an unfortunate lady life.
Yeah.
What about you, Fighter?
hmm Um, for me, um, um, I hate ads in general. Um, I used to use you block Origin, but for some reason um YouTube detects it, even though some people have said it works for them. I don't know. So yeah.
Like for me, I'm still on Windows 10. My mom uses Windows 11
Same.
now, and the thing is, the uBlock Origin doesn't even work on her end, even though it works for me just fine. So I'm thinking maybe it could be because of the new OS and she upgraded. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm on Windows 10 also. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
I'm surprised you guys are talking about this U Block Plus, not like Ad Block Plus,
No,
No,
the
it's
most
no.
popular one.
I've never heard of that one.
Same.
Really, you have not heard of Ad Block?
I've
Okay,
heard of
that's
uBlock
good.
Origin from just friends, and then I started hearing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Damn. All
I
right, well, I guess
learned about it on Reddit, I think. I'm
that's a place to get
unsure.
information.
I know, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, honestly, okay, like going back to the topic of you saying that you just don't like ads in general. The problem is like ads are still kind of necessary,
Yeah, they
especially in
very
terms of
much
like us
are.
watching.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good way for content creators, especially the ones that actually follow the rules and not just copyright
Yeah.
claim people, that's how they make their
Yeah.
living and make their money. Without
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
without the use of ads, how are they able to support themselves or even their family?
Sponsors.
I mean, other than sponsors,
Yeah.
because like, what
Sponsors are
if?
like their main way of getting money,
I mean,
and
sure,
ad sides on a
yeah,
seasonal
ads
thing.
only give you like pennies of the dollar.
Yeah. Oh,
At
actually, I
least for
just realized.
streaming. At least for streaming, that's what I've seen on their policy, or I've heard from other
Mm,
content creators.
yeah, actually, I just thought of something because this podcast is just kind of like a podcast where we like watch from forward all the way through. If we ever do have the ability to be able to put ads in our thing, we can't put mid roll ads because that just would break up the tension of or the break up the flow of us talking to each other. We'd have to do like
Either at the beginning
beginning
or
or
the end.
yeah, if we even can
Hmm.
do that because I
I don't.
always
I
I
think
always
it's
thought that
only
those ads at the
beginning
beginning and the
or
end were
middle.
for YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. That's wild. And also, no, there are ads at the end because that sometimes happens when I finish a video on YouTube.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So that does happen. But that's interesting. Ooh. But yeah, ads unfortunately are a necessary addition for that. We just kind of have to deal with it. And to
Just
be
get
honest,
YouTube Premium.
it's a minor inconvenience.
True.
It's a first world problem or third world
Yeah.
problem, whatever that thing is.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah. Uh, moving on to another topic. So I've had this question many a times because I always see you whenever whenever people watch like most YouTubers, they usually always say at some point in their video to like, to subscribe, to comment, do stuff like that. Um, liking makes sense because obviously that's like for the viewers to basically for the person who's basically making the video to know if people like the video or people don't like the video, etc., etc. Basically just say this is a video I like, this is a video I don't like. Just yeah, basically like a vote downvote like many other platforms. And for comments, I mean that one's a little bit less, but it is just mostly because it's mostly for one, it's mostly for analytics, as people have said. But also just so that people can comment, people can text, and the creators can also respond to said comments as well, quite possibly, especially regarding their videos if it requires that. Subscribing, on the other hand, that makes literally no sense. I don't understand.
It's annoying.
Like, no, my question is like, why do creators insist on us subscribing? Because to me, logically, uh, it shouldn't increase the algorithm
Well,
because
no,
subscribing.
to some degree, to some degree I agree with your opinion, but there's also influx of new people joining YouTube. What if you're a child friendly what if you create child friendly content and they're new to YouTube? How do they know anything about subscribing unless you really point it out to them? I
No,
would
no, no.
say in that
Unless
case that would make sense, but it's also really weird for them to target that.
no, unless talking about like them saying, "Oh, you guys should subscribe," but more just talking about the concept of subscribing itself.
Mhm.
Because to give a bit of a history lesson, which by the way, take this with a grain of salt, because this may be wrong. I actually don't know. But from what I remember, subscribing, the whole point of subscribing in the first place was to make it so that whenever a viewer subscribes to a creator's channel, then in their subscriber feed, they're able to get the latest videos for the subscription
But here's the thing.
that they have,
I
basically.
mean, there's that, but there's also the bell icon. The bell icon acts differently.
But that's the thing. So the bell icon was added afterwards.
Yeah.
The subscribe button has always been a part of mainline YouTube, and that was the whole point of the subscribe button. The
Yeah, but
secondary was just the fact you had a big number on your name. But then YouTube decided to add the bell icon along with the subscribe button.
because
So the
sometimes
entire
yeah,
point of the
because
subscribe
it's
button
to
is
give you
useless.
no, it's to give you the option to seriously follow that channel because you can be a follower and it shows up in your feed. And then if you tap the bell icon, you would be able to see it in your notifications like via your phone.
Then but then what's the point of
Hmm.
subscribing?
The point of
The whole
subscribing
the whole point of
is to follow that
subscribing.
person's content because it still shows up in your activity feed. And
Yeah.
if you look on your PC, it's a lot less
Right.
prevalent. I mean, there's also the notification tab, but I mean, who really looks at that? you're mostly looking at your activity feed or you're looking at the YouTube homepage. It's mostly,
Mhm.
I'd say, in my personal opinion, it's set for mobile users, which would make sense. Because I mean,
Okay.
they're also competing against other platforms like Twitch, right, for viewership.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's a counterpoint to you. So me personally, when I use YouTube, I don't subscribe to anyone. And that's just mostly because, uh, and this is a bit of a personal story. I'll go into this. So essentially, way back in like a few years ago, back when Unis Honest was kind of like a thing, I basically watched YouTube a lot to an unhealthy degree, in which like a lot of my time was spent on YouTube and not on anything else. So I wanted to mitigate that. And so how I planned to do it, AdBlock Plus had a very cool system in which like I could block specific elements off of any website that I decide to deem should be blocked, and an AdBlock Plus would then block that every time I would load up that website, which is basically how the ads were blocked on AdBlock Plus. But you could also block stuff like the videos that would show up on the homepage, videos that would show up on the search bar, or specific areas. Like you could completely eliminate the search bar if you wanted. You can block the search bar. And so the way I use it is I basically just removed all of the videos that would appear on my homepage. Um, and alongside that, I also remove the up next on like whenever you're watching a video. I also remove the up next video like lineup as well to help mitigate that problem. And so the thing that I was gonna try and do was basically I was gonna subscribe to only a select few YouTubers, and basically just if I wanted to watch something, I would have to wait for it to show up on my subscriber feed, on my subscriber tab. And then I'd watch that, and then I'd be able to basically do that. And I've been doing that for quite a while. However, at some point, I think it was less that AdBlock Plus broke, but moreover that like just my system wasn't working anymore. I still kept watching videos based on either searching them up or just looking at from the video list that happens after you watch a video. I would mostly just do that. And so after a while, that system just kind of didn't really work. Then AdBlock Plus didn't really work for eliminating specific elements. I couldn't do that anymore, and then I moved to Opera GX, which had its own thing, and so then that just kind of did that. But essentially, throughout the process of me doing that, I had unsubscribed to a lot of different channels to help mitigate that. To where now my normal YouTube experience is that the only YouTubers that I'm subscribed to right now are friends and family, are people I know in person. And I still get recommended videos from other YouTubers that I do constantly watch, that I do constantly enjoy. I think it's also just like a matter of fact that it's just like the YouTubers that I don't watch will automatically fade into obscurity, and unless YouTube decides to algorithmically give me a video again.
Not gonna
So,
lie, not gonna lie. This sounds like a schizo post on Reddit.
but it's
You're
true
you're
though.
trying to beat the
I
algorithm. He doesn't want to subscribe to it.
No, I just like I because like no, because like that goes back to my point. The whole point of subscribing was the system that I just did, so that you can look at your subscriber feed or notifications to get videos from said YouTubers and be able to watch them from there. But the bell completely eliminates that. It takes that function out of the subscriber. So the only function the subscribe button has is a number. It increases the number,
Yeah, but they also
and
get
that
certain they're also open to more sponsorships. You're in a way helping the creator grow in a sense with other companies because
is
it's
that
Yep.
used yeah, it's used as a number to dictate how important they are. Depending
I
on
don't
how
know.
your social score is, especially on YouTube, can get you better deals when it comes to sponsorships, and you'll get a lot more money.
But I
Mhm.
think with that though, it's still like a threshold because there are a bunch of like small YouTubers that I watch that still do get sponsors that also surprisingly also get YouTubes because I don't know why, but YouTube's apparently just gives everything to anyone, and so I really don't think it's like although the subscriber count may have an impact on how other people view that channel, I don't think it's that substantial of a view. Which then also like it also comes down to the picture of just like why do we care that a person gets like outside of like the 100,000, 1,000,000, and 10,000,000 because those have play buttons and those actually
Yeah.
have like good value to them. But like
Yeah.
something like a 5,000,000 special or like a 5K special, subscriber special, it's like why? Why?
I mean, it's a huge number. Why not? You're growing a
I
community
guess,
base,
yeah.
and you want to celebrate with the people who got you to that point. it's a way to
Mhm.
gather everyone together and just to say thank you.
Guess. I don't know. I don't know. My whole thoughts about like the subscriber button are just like I don't
I think we're thinking
understand
it.
why.
I think we're dehumanizing what the number means. It's just a group of collective people who like to watch your content. I think it's nothing
Yeah.
more than that.
But even then,
Yeah.
it's like it's not even an accurate representation of that. Because again, like you said, bots or again, people who aren't subscribed. There's a reason why that statistic that shows up, which is like people showing how many people aren't subscribed and how many people are subscribed. So technically, even the
Yeah,
amount of
but
subscribers you
bots
have
are
isn't
noticeable, and you can tell with botted accounts. You can tell by viewer retention
okay.
throughout a video.
Okay.
If everyone's
Yeah.
clicking at, for the and only staying on for only 8 seconds, that usually means that video's been botted. You can
Okay.
easily discern.
But
You
like
can
as
also
you can
look at
see, if
Social
you
Blade. Just look at their Social Blade. If it's
if
way too fast of an
yeah.
uptake, it seems unnatural, then it's most
Okay.
likely a bot.
Outside of bots, because I actually have no idea how bots would even work in YouTube. But like you've seen those bars of which like the YouTuber presents how many people are subscribed and how many people aren't subscribed. That was like a craze for like a little bit, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
Every single person's bar was different, and some YouTubers would have low subscribers but have a lot of non-subscribers watching their videos. So technically, even subscribers doesn't tell you how many people do and don't watch your videos.
No,
So just even more makes
there's
it
an active
useless.
no there's other statistics and bars you can look at in the YouTube studio to discern how many people out of your subscribers watch your video.
Yeah, exactly. But then why even have a subscriber? Why not just have the
Okay,
amount of views
this
you have?
no, they show their subscriber bar to show how many the influx of new people who are like have eyes on the channel, and it also explains how far the channel is able to find new audiences. If it's very low, it's really hard for them to get new people. They've been stagnant on this one number for such a long ass time. Like there is another YouTuber out there called Hyphonics. He was talking about how he was around 600,000 for like almost a year straight because he couldn't grab any more people to watch his
Hmm.
channel.
But isn't that fine? Shouldn't 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 he be satisfied with the 6,000 number? That's like a respectable number to even get sponsors as well. Six
True.
hundred
I
thousand.
never said that he did mention the subscriber bar. I'm somewhat new to his channel. I have only showed up to the party whenever he got up to around like 900,000 something. So
Right.
it was just recalling a past event. I've never seen him talk about the subscriber count outside of just him live streaming and someone bringing it up as a topic.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, the main reason why I'm bringing up this topic is just because so many YouTubers they seem to care so much about how many subscribers they have, and getting more subscribers as fast as possible to rise quickly to the top. But it's like is subscribers really the best metric? Like, shouldn't you be satisfied with the subscribers that you have, or does it even matter how many subscribers you have? Outside of the small cases that you basically said, it's like subscribers
Man,
really don't mean anything.
they just need another
Uh,
yacht. That's why. That's why when we talked
Even
about
subscribers
Quebblecop,
doesn't give more money. I've already established
yeah,
this.
yeah, I know. I'm just joking. But when we
Yeah.
talked about Quebblecop and our in the past, right? Our first
In
video,
episode 1.
yeah, in
Mhm.
episode 1, we you can kind of think about it like that. He's starting to fall off, right? It's like why even continue to do
Yeah.
YouTube? You've been successful for years. Why even continue? What is the point? You're taking away your presence on being there, and you're replacing it with an AI, a tool. What makes you more significant? What is your reason for being here? To give people content? You're removing yourself from the content that is what made your channel.
I mean, I think
Mhm.
the reason is I think different for every person who creates on YouTube. Some might do it for the
Yeah.
money, some might do it for just pure joy, some might do it for the audience. It really
Fame.
depends on the YouTuber. Yeah.
And that's when it comes down to like prank YouTubers. You've seen what they've done for clout, right?
No, I have not. I do not watch many. I do not watch any
I
prank
mean, have you
YouTubers.
not seen Logan Paul dead body incident?
No.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have. But actually, no, I've never
Have you heard
seen
about
the video. I've
FoozyTube?
heard of the memes, but I've never seen the video.
Have you guys heard about FoozyTube?
Nope.
Doing a lot of prank videos.
Nope.
Well,
No.
he went over to Kick but you can kind of see his fame and how it's turned, and you can kind of apply that to YouTubers, at least for prank YouTubers for today. He's been locked up because he went ape shit at a hotel, I'm pretty sure, and he
Mm,
people had to call the cops on him.
mm. I don't really get um s- pranking YouTubers like harmless pranks. That's fine, but
What about
anything
Omegle
else.
pranks?
Hmm?
What about Omegle pranks?
Um, 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 as long as it doesn't harm someone physically or fiscally, I'd say it's fine.
I just don't watch that stuff, honestly. It's not
Yeah,
my cup of tea
same.
to
I
watch.
don't watch it.
It's not my cup of tea. YouTube doesn't recommend it to me, so it knows that it's also not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um.
isn't it because you don't
Also,
subscribe to it?
No, because I still get
also that.
recommended videos that are like somewhat like okay. Actually, it's a great thing that you mentioned that because that's a great segue. So I don't know if this is a byproduct of me not subscribing to anything, but do you guys ever get those things where like you're watching a video and like on like the up next um for like that YouTube video, you get like that one video that says new and has very little views and very little subscribers
Yeah,
get
that confuses
recommended
the
to
hell out
you.
of me.
I don't really get that.
Me
I
neither.
honestly think that's really, really cool because I think
I
for a
do, yeah.
time, a lot of YouTubers
Hmm.
complained about the fact that it's like it's very
It's
hard
very
to
hard to
get up
grow.
in YouTube. It's very hard to grow on
Yeah.
YouTube. But this one singular like video that would that would show up in everyone's recommended that is new, no views, just had a title and a thumbnail. I think that's really cool because
You can
although the
also
most of
promote
it is just
yourself.
recommended, yeah.
You can also
Although
promote yourself
most
as
of
an ad.
uh maybe.
Yeah,
Actually, I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
that.
you
I
can.
think
You
I've seen
can.
that done before.
Yeah, if I
Yeah,
pull up a YouTube Studio, you can. There's a option to do so.
that's crazy. But yeah,
Especially
just
when
like
it comes to like new VTubers who opened up onto the scene. I've seen this one
Yeah.
organization. I forgot their name, but they've been doing that for every single new VTuber model or creator that
Um.
they've produced.
that's crazy. Hmm.
Um. Which VTubers?
I
Of
don't
I
course.
remember
might
their
know it.
name.
Um.
I can tell you only by looks, and that's it.
The three major ones I know of
I
are
think they're called
V
Idol.
Shoujo, Hololive, and Niji Sanji.
I think they're called Idol.
Hmm.
Mhm. This is the part of the video where I have no commentary whatsoever
Yeah,
because I don't know VTubers.
Um. Idol Corp.
maybe. I'm looking through their yeah, it is Idol. It's just called straight up Idol Corp. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Okay.
Same.
Hmm.
Yeah, they've done that for the character for people named Kai and Rin Penrose. You can show it up on screen if you feel like it.
Okay. That's
Yes.
Kai Psychoda and who's the other one?
Rin Penrose.
Rin
In
Penrose.
cases. Anyway,
And
but yeah,
I don't even
just
watch VTubers, and I got an ad for that.
yeah. I will
There.
say like those new videos that I keep getting, they are like although they are new videos, they are still catered to my taste. Like I always see like a lot of gameplay new videos or like stuff like that. So although
Mhm.
yes, they are from YouTubers that have low subscribers and low views, they are still catered to my taste. They are still what I would watch just from a lower scale. And I still think that's amazing. That's a great feature that YouTube has added. I love it so much. Even though I barely watch any of them, but
Oh yeah,
sometimes
same. Because they
it's
look
that one
sometimes they just
video.
look scuffed as hell. But you can find a
Yeah,
diamond in a rough every now and then.
absolutely. Yeah.
I've yet to find one like that, but when I do, I will subscribe.
Maybe that's what happened
Um
with our first video. Is it just like a few
Maybe.
viewers just kind of stumbled upon it via that thing?
Yeah, and here's the thing: like when I did my first live stream earlier this week, uh, it started like I
Ooh.
got a decent amount of viewers, which was kind of weird because it's the first day. So I kept on thinking like, is that a bot or like what's going on? I feel like it's either someone reviewing the
On
live
YouTube or
stream
Twitch?
on YouTube.
Oh
Oh,
damn.
okay. I
Yeah,
wasn't there
so
for
so
that.
I'm thinking like maybe it's bots. I even tried looking it up. It's like, dude, like what the fuck is happening?
Have you
What is this?
neglected to tell us your YouTube channel?
No, it's posted on the second episode, and I put it underneath hosts.
He did.
Okay. I mean,
Yep.
word
I
of
asked
mouth would
Fighter.
also be fine. We
I
have a Discord channel. You could just send anyway.
I did ask Fighter. He was in my in the presence at the time when I uploaded the
Mhm.
Okay.
second one. But yeah, we can start doing
Alright.
that. And like, hey, if you guys want to start any ventures or do anything, just post it in the description.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, back onto topic.
YouTube.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, um, for small channels, um, subs do matter because from what I saw, you need at least 1,000 subs in order to make money from being a YouTuber.
True, and that's why we didn't
Yeah.
really bring up 1,000. We talked about 100,000 and 1,000,000 because those are major milestones.
Yeah.
After the
Yeah,
1,000,
fair.
it. I mean, it's cool to get more subs, but does it
Yeah.
really matter? You're still getting paid. That was Josh's view
Yeah.
on the topic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically when you have a high enough subscriber, it's isn't it called the sunk cost fallacy or is it something else entirely? Basically the thing is like if you get like $10 when you're like broke with zero, that means a lot to you. But if you have $1,000,000 to get an extra $10, it doesn't mean all that much to you. So it's like that kind of fallacy. It's like the more subscribers you have, the less valuable each subscriber becomes.
Oh yeah, so
Um,
the cost fallacy is the phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action
yeah, okay,
because
so I
they
was
have
wrong.
they have invested heavily into it. No, you can kind of see it as that.
No, 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 that's not
If
the
someone
one.
no
That's
no but it is somewhat similar. If someone's gonna continue to
not.
push down people, hey guys, we're really like we need you to subscribe, right? If they keep pushing down their viewers throats just so they can get more attention, right, or get more people to subscribe because they're heavily invested in subscribers instead of viewer count or viewer engagement, right, which is the most important. It should be viewer engagement and not sub count that really counts in my opinion.
First of all,
Yeah.
I would like to
So in
fully
a way it
reiterate.
is some cost fallacy. It is in a way.
I would like to say that my point is not what Sagumi said, and I feel like me saying Sun Calls fallacy just gave Sagumi the greatest segue into whatever he wanted to talk about.
No, I don't have a segue. Nah,
Yeah, but anyway, but no, like that's kind of that kind of thing.
but
It's
imagine.
Yeah, and also it should also be kept in mind because like I have watched and seen YouTubers who do have less than 1,000 subscribers, and again, it's also just most of the cases just like not every subscriber is really going for money or really has that as a priority. So
Mhm.
you know, even
I
then,
rarely watch them, if at
I
all.
I think it's just because of what I watch. Just because like God, I freaking have like two channels in mind. They're both Friday Night Funkin', by the way, in case you were wondering, Fighter.
Of course they
Both of
are.
the channels that I have like less than 1,000 subscribers are like Friday Night Funkin', but like they're so good for what they are, and I like watching that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe I watch a lot lower subscriber count channels than you guys both do, because I mean
I follow a
that's probably
lot of people. I mean a
yeah,
lot, probably over 100.
yeah, that's probably
On
why I
YouTube,
have such
same.
that's probably why I have this such like skewed view on subscribers is because like the quality of YouTubers almost does not depend on the subscriber count. Like freaking like a person like Mr. Beast having like so many subscribers has around like the exact same quality in my eyes as like the smaller YouTubers that I watch or even like the medium YouTubers I watch. So
He just
Maybe
has a
that's
lot
also
more
why.
hands on deck.
Yeah, but also because
Well,
like yeah,
well, in Mr. Beast's case, he's a- actively using his money for
Content.
massive if, uh, projects, giving it away to smaller content and creators,
mm.
helping those with disabilities, etc.
Do we want to go down that? Do we want to talk about the Mr. Beast situation? This is like a year old probably, but
Um,
do we want to talk
What
about
happened?
that?
I
Do
mean,
you
I'm
not
down.
know about like the?
not in this episode, I'd say,
No, no,
because
no, we can. Yeah, why not?
I'm fine. We have time,
Yeah.
we
I think.
were
So,
okay.
I mean,
so do
it
you?
is happening on YouTube, to be fair.
Uh,
It's also been
okay.
like a month ago. Like this drama has already been thought. But do you know about? Okay, Sugumi, have you watched the Mr. Beast video about him curing blindness? Curing blindness like 100 or 1,000 people.
Yes.
Oh, this
So
again.
the
I
biggest
not
controversy,
watched it.
yeah, the biggest controversy regarding that situation was moreover it's like the way the video was presented, which is how all Mr. Beast videos were presented, being like very quick, very fast paced, is that like it didn't like it was weird because the premise of the video was I gave 1,000 people, I cured 1,000 people's of blindness. But what a perspective that could be taken on that video is Mr. Beast uh basically I don't know if you could probably say um bargaining. I don't know how to basically say it, but it's basically just like he's using these people he just cured for views, of which very much feels like I guess icky. Spider, can you explain it better? I don't know if I can explain it.
Hmm, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I imagine he got their consent for being put in the video.
True. And there's also the thought of people out there thinking that he didn't technically cure blindness because to be actually blind, you're at a point where you physically cannot see whatsoever. What he really fixed was cataracts. So it's
Well,
or other stigmatisms, right? And that
Mm.
was that's the real thing he fixed because you cannot cure real blindness. You can cure what is
yeah,
legal blindness or things that are
Yeah.
equivalent
He cured a
to
certain type of
blindness.
blindness. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand that he cured
w-
like a certain type of blindness. But the main controversy is more of just like he's using these people he just cured for views. Like that's the crux of the controversial opinion and view on it,
I think
essentially.
it's totally
And
fine for him to do it.
yeah, and I
yeah,
think
I
like
agree.
both sides have argued because it's like, well, what do you want him to do? Not cure blindness? He's doing a good cause. But then there are people on the
Do
other
you want
side that
them
are
to
basically
suffer?
saying,
Do you let them
yeah,
see
but
what the
then people
world
are
is
like,
actually like? How dare you?
yeah. And so there's been fight on both sides on whether or not him curing the blindness is either good or bad. I personally think perfectly fine. Because he's curing blindness and doing it for a video, as long as he got consent from the people who are doing that, then that should be fine. As long as it's not forced consent, which I think is like the one like gray hair about it. Because it's like it's I guess it's like the main question. Actually, no, then it probably wouldn't be that. It's the question of like if you want to get cured of blindness, you have to be fine with being shown up in the video. But considering there's 1,000 people, that probably was not the case at all. So
Gotta sign an
I
NDA.
don't.
This is
Yeah,
like this sounds like the plot of a
Yeah,
Meat Canyon video.
it's yeah, it's an interesting situation. I personally think it's perfectly fine, but I do see the views that other people have because I just don't think the style of Mr. Beast's videos really lends itself to really be very deep, very emotional, and very hard cams because they're like
Hmm.
90-second TikToks set within multiple sections. So I just don't think it really lends itself to that. But he did good deeds, so cool.
True.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Do we want to talk about our YouTube channels in this video about YouTube channels or
What do
YouTube
you mean?
itself?
Like, what are you implying?
Have you guys seen my YouTube channel?
Nope.
It is a very wild ride. Let me see if I can pull up my YouTube
I
channel right
bet.
now. I have
Um,
I can talk you guys through like the journey of my videos. How much time do we have, by the way, for the
We have
video?
about mm, I think 25 minutes.
25, 25 minutes. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Do we want to go into this like YouTube topic, or do we want to try and
we can go
uh?
into this YouTube topic, or we can talk about YouTubers because that's something we can segue
Well,
into.
that's your
I'm
guys'
down.
thing. You guys
I'm
can do
down.
that.
Because we already brought up the topic of idle en.
It's more of my thing
Yeah,
than your two things.
I'll just stay silent.
we
Literally,
need
the
we
only
need
thing I
Fighter
can.
to take the spotlight. So considering idle corp or idle on YouTube, they have Kai and Rin and a huge swath of different YouTubers who've been
Many others.
publicized on the YouTube platform. But the main two that I'm talking about today are just Rin and Kai. What?
16 VTubers at the moment from what I
Oh,
see.
jeez. I don't. How do
Um,
they keep pumping out with them? I don't understand that.
Oversaturation,
four
baby.
True.
four different generations. Idle Origin, Idle Ian Gen 1, Idle Ian Gen 2, and Idle Ian Project Star,
So
which is just rerun.
so when Kai first started streaming, the one on the top, the pictures he sent,
Mm-hmm.
when they started streaming, they did a subathon, right, where
Hmm.
they're allowed to stop midway through it, and they can restart it up on another day. And if they were offline, they had an AI take over and speak whatever the chat wanted the AI to say.
So TTS or something else?
I think it's a bit more than that because I'm pretty sure they were responding back to chat. So it wasn't just copy and
Oh,
pasting what
hmm.
chat wanted the model to say. Like, what do you think personally about subathons stopping halfway through and not just continuing outright, like Ludwig's or Kai Cenat's subathon?
Um, a VTuber I watch has done it, but it's for medical reasons.
Iron Mouse?
Um, no,
Oh,
um a smaller VTuber. I don't actively watch Mousy.
me neither. I kind of watched uh, Connor
Yeah,
VA, Connor.va. I
yeah,
don't remember.
I
I'm bad
think
with
so.
names. I'm
Same.
very, very bad with names.
How many VTubers are there for you guys to have so many common VTubers to understand and
No,
say, "Oh
no.
yeah, I
Um,
know that guy
There's a
too."
ton. There's
uh,
Haruka. There's
How
shit.
do both of you guys
Shy
know all
Lily.
of them?
um,
YouTube is
I
vast.
no. I know him through other content creators. I don't actively watch them
yeah,
at all.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
just in a video that I watch.
How do you even know them? There's
Um,
so many Let's Players that I just don't
Connor's
watch or
not a
know.
VTuber, by the way.
No, he does have a YouTube model though.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Mind-boggling.
He's not a VTuber, but since he hangs out with a lot of VTubers, he has a VTuber model.
and there's also people who just don't who just have a lot of people who are just friends, are VTubers like Nags.
Yeah, um, um,
Yeah.
Nags, Noble, Coefficient, many others.
I've never heard of Coefficient.
Oh, thank God. One VTuber they don't know.
He's not a
One
VTuber.
VTuber.
It's just a person that
Damn.
associates themselves with people who do
Damn.
VTubing.
Anyway.
Him.
Never seen that man in my life.
Okay.
What?
He looks cool.
I do believe his wife is a VTuber. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Back onto topic.
Now that Twitch has opened up the floodgates to streaming on multiple different platforms, even including YouTube, what do you think that will do for the YouTube community or just live streaming in general?
VTubers have existed even before this system, though, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Or are we
I
just
mean, there was
talking about?
Project Melody. She was on like, what was the site she was on originally?
Um, some some not safe for work
Work site.
website. I think
Hmm.
Chatterbait.
I
No,
was thinking that as well.
hold on.
I
Wait,
think it was
Chatterbait.
Chatterbait.
No. What is that?
What?
I'm gonna look it up anyway.
Oh, this man's too innocent.
Ah,
He talks about
why did you talk
freaking
about that on YouTube? You son of a gun!
because almost everyone knows it, and we're not making
I
child.
don't.
We're
Yes,
not making
yes,
child-friendly content.
yes.
I
It
don't. I don't know.
is
Listen,
that
I am not
site.
innocent, but I did. But bold of you
You're
to
more
assume that I
innocent.
know
You're
every
more
one of those
innocent than
types of
us.
sites.
You're more innocent than us.
I know some. I just
Back
don't
onto
know them
topic.
all. Anyway.
Back onto topic. All also from what I've heard, Mel was the first Western VTuber,
Yes.
or and VTubers existed in Japan for a few years before
Before he even hit America.
it yes it exploded in the West.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can also
Hmm.
look at shit, forgot her name. Fuck, Miku.
Me, Miku.
Yeah,
Please don't tell me you don't know who Miku is.
it's
Oh
me.
wait, no,
Her,
no,
her,
you
her, yeah,
literally do have to. I know you've played a mod
yeah,
about it anyway.
yeah. Ha,
I
ha,
know you
ha,
know. Anyway,
ha,
Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune
Hatsune Miku,
Miku,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Don't know much
for the
outside of the name. Anyway,
Me neither. All I
um,
know is Vocaloid, and people
and
use
she has her
their
fans.
voice in music. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, music.
For those watching who somehow don't know who she is, that's
Oh
what.
man, those guys are boomers. They don't know this.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I could see
I
a world where I wouldn't know. If I never got into
I
FNF, I would have never found out.
They're almost everywhere, man. There,
yeah.
there's freaking
You're
cars
also
getting.
kind of right with that.
There's literally cars wrapped with Hatsune Miku.
Yep.
I've never seen Cars. I don't know how you're able to
I've
see
seen
that.
it. It's on Reddit,
Your
man.
recommended must be weird
I've
then.
No,
seen
it's on Reddit. I don't even use
I've
Reddit.
seen when
You
I'm
use
driving
Reddit.
to work. I'm not even
Wait.
lying.
Did
Hold
Alpharad?
on.
Did Alpharad wrap a car in Hatsune
I
Miku? I'm pretty sure he did. Alpharad, yeah.
I
Yeah, he
don't
did.
I don't know.
know.
He did. He did.
God, that's wild. Anyway,
Yeah. He spent like a whole entire day or two just to go buy a really cheap car and have it wrapped in Hatsune Miku.
what was his reason, or was he just a fan?
He saw someone else
Back
do
onto
it.
topic.
He saw someone else do it, and then he was like, "Why not?"
Okay,
So yeah,
then that sounds like something he would do.
about
Yeah.
live streaming on both platforms. What do you think that'll do for YouTube
I don't think it's
and
gonna.
Twitch in
I don't
general?
think it's. I don't think it's gonna change that much.
Um.
We've already had Twitch YouTubers and YouTubers switch sides multiple times. You've already had people who do both, and like, if it really is extreme, it can't get more extreme than like the Vine situation, when Vine died and all the Vine YouTubers just kind of went over to
I mean,
us.
I don't think Twitch is gonna die necessarily anytime soon.
No, but
But
like
with
having
their
an influx of
policies,
another.
but with
Yeah,
their policies being enacted like this, I think a lot of people are gonna leave Twitch to move over to YouTube because there's less ads being played during stream, which streamers on
Yeah.
YouTube can have that option turned off if you want to have ads or not. And again, like I said before in this episode, that you barely get any money, at least from streaming, from what I've heard. Just
On
pennies on
YouTube.
the dollars when it comes to streaming and placing ads midway.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I'm actually
Um,
very curious to ask. You said that this system basically allows YouTubers or Twitch streamers or YouTubers to stream on YouTube, but then also transfer that over to Twitch, so you're streaming simultaneously on two
It,
platforms,
I
right?
mean, it's the other way around. It's like
yeah.
Twitch is letting people stream on YouTube as well.
Oh, so
Yeah.
basically you stream on Twitch, you can also stream on YouTube. One, I think
Yes.
that's really cool because I have a lot of YouTubers
Yeah.
I watch that are also Twitch streamers, so that's actually kind of pog.
Yeah.
But two, I'm very curious how that would be because both Twitch and YouTube have two different terms of services. So
Yeah.
you're basically just doubling your risk because now you not only have to
Not
abide by.
really. Not
I
really.
mean,
The only concern
hmm,
you need to have is if you're playing copyrighted music, I'd say.
Yeah.
Twitch is less
right,
is more lenient on if you're using DMCA able music, which I tried looking into. Is like, is there a way for me to have music on one stream while the other one doesn't? No, you can't do that. I mean, I'm gonna have to have
yeah.
OBS open twice just to do that, and or find another streaming software. And I personally do not want to have to do that. That
Really?
already complicates things.
Is
I
it
rather
really
just
worth?
stream. It's not worth it. The confusion and the
I was
frustration
gonna say,
I
yeah.
have to go
Is
through
it really worth the
to
trouble
figure that out.
than just like finding like some copyright free music you can just play? It's like,
No, that is hard. It is hard on YouTube, at least for me.
isn't there like a whole YouTube music library
Yeah,
of
but most of them
copyright
suck.
free stuff you can use?
Yeah.
They usually
Yeah.
suck
There,
ass.
there are a couple bangers. There are a
There
couple
are
bangers.
some bangers, very minimal,
Well,
minuscule.
it's also you don't need bangers because it's supposed to be just like filler music in the background anyway, so it doesn't need to be bangers.
I want it to be bangers because if I'm playing like an
You're
FPS
not gonna
game,
have it
Yeah.
like the Summoning Salt theme song. All right, you
dude,
just
I
need
want some
background music.
Berserk music being played when I'm killing a whole
If
entire
you want,
team on Overwatch. Come on.
if you want
I do
music that
too.
akin to what
I
you
don't
do,
I don't
then
want to
just
hear it.
make music.
Like a very like I do not want to hear shopping music when I'm killing people in a video game. Come on.
Insert
also just
elevator
commission
music.
music.
In game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
In game. Insert elevator music.
I can
Yeah.
already think
Okay.
about it in my head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same.
Do you think you would ever get yourself into music making to make these songs or whatnot?
Me making songs?
Yeah.
Never. I've had to
Yeah.
talk about this
No.
with my parents and other relatives. I used to be in choir.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
in middle school, and I did that for about 3 years.
Hmm.
Did I like it at the time? Yes, I think it was a great way for me to go out there and learn to handle public speaking or just speaking my mind in general. Because you're staying on stage in front of hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it?
Mhm.
I don't like aside from singing, I don't find any purpose or any worth of learning instruments or having to work with technology to create music. I think it's a bit too repetitive for me personally. I don't really have a creative
Fair.
mindset. It's kind of like when it comes to if people ask me, "Hey, do you want to be an artist?" I'm like, "Well, I don't have the passion nor do I have the animation to do so." Like
Right.
if I were to place one of my key, how do I say this? My key talents, I'd say it's for writing. Like I don't, not in a sense of a novel, but explaining things. Like right now, I'm taking a philosophy class, and I feel like I
Ooh.
personally do better when it comes to understanding philosophical topics and explaining it in a way that is very directional. That's more inserting about the universe around us and not just what our personal view is. Like when we look around the outside world, we're looking at it through the lens of human eyes and not what could be objectively someone else's perspective out there. Like let's say we see aliens, right? What they believe in and their culture is could be completely different from ours, and we could disagree on that. But what
Mhm.
what we believe is just is objective to us, but it could be subjective to them.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
different
if we're talking
cultures.
about aliens, if we're just talking about aliens, everything could be subjective to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Because aliens could just see the world differently than us.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yeah.
what I had to argue
Literally
about.
They
different
might be
colors.
blind, might not be able to hear, no sense of smell, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for what we see, the sky is blue, but to other animals and other living
Oh,
beings, it could be straight
colorblind
up
people see
black.
different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's also like people who like are like either blind or deaf usually have their other senses heightened as well. So even they
Yep.
Yeah.
have a different perspective than we do.
Mm-hmm. There's this
It's
one
interesting.
guy who was blind and he got around places by making clicks.
Oh yeah.
I heard about him.
Yeah.
That just sounds possible.
The human bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah.
What were we talking about?
Streaming.
Well, we're trying to talk about YouTube and
Okay.
streaming, but whatever.
We're gonna have to jump off of it. I think we called it a bit too soon, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. I guess like because I already spoke my opinion on it, and that is like
Yeah.
I don't think much is gonna change. It can be cool.
What
If
about
if anything, I, I think it might help that content creator grow slightly faster, if anything.
ye?
Yeah,
So again, going off topic, what
that's
about
fair.
do you think, guys, that gacha games should be banned or removed from gaming in general?
Freedom of speech, man. You gotta at least
Yeah.
have the
It's
freedom
not
to
a
do that.
speech. It's not speech
Well,
though.
but
It's
still,
a
like just
gambling
like the
practice.
freedom to do that. It is a gambling practice, but you could also just simply just like say, "Hey, this game is not for kids," and they would technically be perfectly fine.
No,
Yeah.
what about the EN? They had a law passed where they essentially removed the act of having loot boxes in video games, and that segued
Is it
around the
all?
whole entire industry. Yeah, just loot boxes in general.
Well, I mean, games and
I,
a lot of different companies
I
have already
thought it
been
was.
circumventing loot boxes since like the dawn of time. Because like we had gambling,
It was EN
and then people
first.
were like, "No, don't do that." And then we just basically, okay, so then what about trading cards? What about loot boxes? What about other forms of randomness? Does that count? Technically not. So we'll probably just find multiple people will just probably find multiple loopholes. So
I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to loot boxes, they usually do it in different currencies other than the standard USD or any other monetary currency out there.
yeah,
What they transcribe
By
the currency into an in-game currency, which can then make it harder for people to discern the value of loot boxes.
right.
I mean, yeah, EU. Yeah, you're right.
You
Simple
yeah.
mistake.
Okay.
the European
Simple
nations anyway.
European.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah,
embarrassing.
Okay.
I am part European.
in terms of gacha games being completely removed, I don't think so. Because I think the line still has to be set on what amount of randomness counts as being gambling and what amount of randomness is just unnecessary amount of randomness for a game to be fun and exist. Like there still has yet for there to be a line to be drawn of what is considered gambling and what is considered just randomness. And fun randomness.
But what about the
Fair.
psychological practices they employ that trick people into buying it?
We've been doing that. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. That's what advertisements do. That's the whole point of advertisements. That's the whole point of like getting us to buy these games with like deluxe packs and whatnot, FOMO stuff like that. We've been
Yeah,
doing
but
that
it shouldn't.
anyway.
But it's not good for the consumer. I think it should be removed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if we
Games
find
should be consumer friendly, or
Yeah.
at least upfront with what they're doing.
the thing is,
Yes,
like,
100% agree
yeah,
with that.
if something happens,
Upfront and
yeah,
honest.
Yes.
yeah, but that's the
Which,
thing. Yeah,
which knowing gaming companies, is is not going to happen anytime soon.
I believe in the power of the people. I think like if enough people complain about it, there may be a law passed or companies may change and whatnot. So it's like if enough people decide, hey, this is too much, we'll up in arms. But right now we have a lot of people who are just like, yeah, kind of just fine with how things are right now.
Yeah, but if we were complacent, that leads to worse practices, or at least them adding stuff like DLCs or add-ons or charges, for that matter, sneaking that
Mhm.
into the game's overall monetary accumulation. So like how games are usually $60. Games like
Yeah.
Forspoken, who have dared to go up to 70, right? I mean, inflation is a thing, and
Yeah.
that is very understandable. But I do think some consumer outcry is not morally right, because again, inflation is happening, and these companies also need to make their money, right? If it goes up only
Right.
$10, does
Mhm.
that really make much of a difference? I think that is totally fine for them to do. It's just whenever they start doing like minute charges aside from DLC, but like
Yeah.
when it comes to
Um,
like Destiny expansions or WoW expansions that cost an upwards of like
yeah.
maybe $30, I'd say okay, that's a bit too much there, bud.
Let
Bit
me
too
just say
much.
though, that I think games is
Well,
in a very unique position because, like, if we don't like certain practices that certain companies are doing or that certain games are doing, we have the option to go to other games. And not just that, but also games have been even more easier for any single or small developer team to make. So if we don't like games that big companies are making, we would just buy the smaller games. And there's enough of an influx of games that we can play that if we don't like what a company's doing, we'll just go to another game or another company or
Yeah,
whatever.
yet
So
there is still a
it's
lot of little kids who play this game, play games, and they don't understand that. And also, people
well
again,
that
like you
yeah.
said
that's
before,
up to their parents to
like
determine that, right?
what you said before, people are becoming complacent with these changes.
Yeah.
It's
That's
the
fair.
complacency
Yeah.
that is stabbing. We're essentially stabbing ourselves in the back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Speaking of added charges, I heard that there was a a legit conversation in about having you pay a dollar or for to either reload
I've heard of
or
that.
Yeah,
respawn.
wasn't that
I've
Unity's
heard of
current
that.
CEO
Yeah,
or
that was
her
Unity's
past
current
Yeah,
CEO?
CEO that did that.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
yeah.
freaking hilarious.
Current CEO
I think did they depose him? Did they
when he
depose the
was
Unity
in
CEO?
EA.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Unity
know.
CEO is gone now after they sold some
I
stock,
That's what I
obviously.
thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
I
which
think
was
they
very much
check.
deserved.
yeah.
Yes,
I just think that's
I'll
funny. The
check
fact that you have to
talk.
pay a dollar to reload. I just think that's funny. Like I don't know why, but I kind of want that game to be made ironically because
I
I
think
just
he's
think that would be
stuck in the
funny
age
and
of arcade
stupid.
games. The man must be thinking that Battlefield's like an arcade game. He's like, yeah, you want to
But it's also
reload?
like
You
yeah,
gotta
but
pay
it's
up
all
money.
mm,
You gotta
yeah,
pay
but
a
it's also
quarter.
like I was gonna say like that whole thing of like paying to reload. How is that any different from like those like games where like you play a game and you try and beat it, but all the while your audience can pay to have enemies try and kill you and prevent you from winning. I'm just curious of like, is there any similarities there of like having you
Gotcha games
pay
that
money to
they
reload?
employ PVE or PvP.
Talking about YouTuber stuff, like YouTuber made stuff where it's like
I
they
mean,
they try and beat a game, but their audience can stop them by paying money to send stuff. Like those
it's not
Minecraft, like
just like whenever they play Minecraft and they pay money to have a creeper spawn right next to them. Is that what you're
yeah,
talking
like
about?
spawn a creeper. Yeah, isn't
Oh
isn't
my.
that
Crowd
in
control.
any way similar to paying to reload?
It is. It's essentially the same
Yeah,
thing, but
yes,
they do it for a
yes,
more
it is.
affordable price
Mm-hmm.
and
And
enjoyment.
and
Mm,
and
you're
and
kind of right about
and
that. I think even one set would get people up in arms.
Yeah, it's only the
And
problem when it happens to every single player. Since it's only happening to one guy, I think people are more justified and more accepting of the reason to pay at least $5 to spawn
Yeah.
a creeper an extra person. It's
I
just not
also
a
and
big problem when it affects the whole entire community.
it might also be because of
and
like
it
audience.
in the case of crowd control, well, it's completely optional and can be turned off at any time.
You're right about that. Yeah, that the
True.
crowd control stuff. And I was just like pointing that out because like it was just like a sudden thought in my head, and I was like, wait, do those have similarities? Is that a case? Thinking about it more, yeah, they probably are pretty different. I just wanted to bring that up because it just immediately came to my mind.
Yeah.
Eh,
But we'll
Mhm.
wrap it up here, folks.
right, folks, is that what we're calling our audience now?
I mean, what do we want to call them? Assets?
Nah, that
For
had a bit of
now,
a.
let's
We'll just say
talk.
people.
Uh, let's talk about it later, not once we end the
I don't
video.
think it
Tell
matters.
us
We could
what
just call them
you
people.
want to be called.
Oh God! Don't say the words. Don't say the words. You know how strongly I feel about it.
Anyways,
Okay.
assets out.
Yeah.